morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Catherine, for your introduction. Welcome to Ottawa, and welcome to FCM's 2025 annual conference. As you've heard this morning, this isn't just any gathering. This is a meeting of an entire order of government. It's a big undertaking, and a lot of people made today possible, and I want to thank them out of the gates. Je tiens à remercier le maire Mark.
Would like to thank Mayor Mark Sutcliffe and his team for collaborating with us to make this event happen. And thank you to our first Vice President and Ottawa Councillor Tim Tierney. Thank you for your commitment to making this convention a success. To the wonderful team of the FCM, this would not be possible without you.
To our incredible President, Rebecca Bly, for your leadership and dedication in the lead up to this big event. I'm also honored to welcome Assembly of First Nations National Chief Cindy Woodhouse-Nepinak this morning. It's a privilege to have her with us. We also have representatives from 4 federal political parties joining us this weekend, including the Prime Minister. Year after year, we have great engagement from national leaders at this conference, and it shouldn't surprise us. As the voice of more than 2,000 cities and communities and over 92% of Canadians, we've been driving the conversation for well over a century, and we're not letting up anytime soon. And finally, since this is my hometown as well, I need to give an extra special shout out to my family who are here, including my husband Jeremy and my 2 kids, Harrison and Henry, who are sitting here and seeing Mama. Friends, the theme of this year's annual conference is Stronger Together, Local Strength, National Prosperity. It speaks to this unpredictable moment we find ourselves in, and the paramount need for unity in the face of adversity. Stronger Together isn't just a theme, it's our strategy. It's how we build the future. The first few months of 2025 have us firmly operating in uncharted territory. The world as we know it is being reconfigured before our eyes. Global economies, revered institutions, and even the sovereignty of nations are under threat. The trade war that we currently find ourselves in was unthinkable this time last year. But here we are, against our will, dragged to the front lines. But in true Canadian fashion, we are refusing to back down and determined to fight like hell for the country we love. As you in this room know all too well, the consequences of these unjust and unprovoked U.S. tariffs are already being felt across the country. Our biggest, most vibrant urban hubs are feeling the crunch as businesses press pause on new investment, workers are having hours cut and contracts canceled, and costs continue to rise across the board. And rural communities are uniquely at risk. To the rural leaders in the audience today, let me say this. The people and you in your communities feed, fuel, and shelter Canadians every single day. You keep Canada running. And here's the thing, you keep the U.S. running too. It's hard to overstate just how much our southern neighbors rely on rural and northern Canada and our resources. Canadian softwood lumber is integral to building American homes. 85% of the potash imported into the United States to support their agriculture sector comes from Saskatchewan. 22% of U.S. steel imports, nearly 80% of primary aluminum, and 60% of the crude oil imports come from Canada. Rural and northern communities are pillars of our economic prosperity. So when these tariffs hit your industries, it's not a rural problem, it's a Canadian problem. From our biggest cities to our tiniest towns, the threat is real, the consequences are already playing out. So whether you're a canola farmer in the prairies, an auto worker in southern Ontario, or an aluminum worker in eastern Quebec, the economic uncertainty is impacting you and your families right now, and that's why FCM has been fighting back since day one. From our successful members' visits to Washington to the leading role we play in the Urban Seven among municipal associations of G7 countries, we are presenting a united front on the international stage. And here at home, we've been just as busy, because let's be very clear, these US tariffs are a manufactured crisis. Yes, they were the spark, but they landed on dry tinder. And now we see just how exposed our economy truly is. We are building tomorrow with tools from yesterday and wondering why we're falling behind. All of this is on top of the systemic challenges we're already grappling with: rising crime rates and threats to public safety, crumbling infrastructure, a worsening housing and homelessness crisis, and a climate emergency that threatens our very way of life. For too long, we've been patching leaks in the roof after every storm, when what we really need is to rebuild the roof entirely. Les derniers mois ont forcé nos dirigeants à agir pour.
Last few months have forced our regions to act to protect the Canadians and to invest in communities to build back stronger. At the FCM, for years now, we've been pulling the alarm bell, ringing the alarm bells, and we've made real progress. For instance, during COVID, all orders of government found the means to support people, to accelerate programs, and implemented projects. And everybody collaborated like never before. But once the crisis was over, we went back to normal operations. What an unfortunate decision.
To uniting the country, securing the future, building a strong Canada. Canadians will be looking for action that matches those words, and so will we. We heard clear signals on building economic resilience, supporting Canadians, and taking greater control of our shared future. FCM will be there to help ensure those commitments are followed through. And here is the only way any of these plans become reality, with municipalities recognized as the essential and powerful partners that they are. As municipal leaders, you are the closest to people's daily lives. You are directly accountable because you are on the ground in your communities every single day. You see the challenges firsthand. You hold the levers. It starts with you. Canada's prosperity doesn't begin in Parliament. It begins in every street, field, and shop floor in your communities. And make no mistake, municipalities aren't just standing by ready to deliver. They are central to achieving national progress on our economy, on our sovereignty, and on the issues Canadians care about most. How we make things happen in this country needs to finally reflect this reality. And so the way forward must be a new era of partnership across all orders of government for national prosperity. Contrary to what some might think, the concerns and responsibilities of municipalities, as you know well, go far beyond roads and transit. We're everywhere, and we're on the front lines of nearly everything. And that's why we're constantly driving the conversation when it comes to public safety, improving mental health care, addressing the housing needs of renters, using nature-based solutions to mitigate climate disasters, bringing municipalities and First Nations together in shared economic prosperity, ensuring internet access everywhere in the country, fixing the bail system, and so much more. Vous savez tous qu'ensemble, nous...
You know that together we can improve things, and that together we have the right tools. We can liberate the full potential of our communities. With this new federal government, we have the opportunity to set the record straight and to finally create a model that really works. A new partnership, a new national partnership will enable Canada to be more prosperous, more resilient, and more competitive, and especially improve the lives of Canadians, because this can't wait.
New era of collaboration is inevitable. So we can kick the can down the road, making excuses until the wheels fall off, or we can start taking action today. And I know which approach FCM members prefer. Because here's the reality. To win this trade war and secure our economic future, we cannot fracture, we cannot stall, we cannot settle. When we are divided, it only undermines our efforts and hurts Canadians. And so we need a united Canadian voice and approach to build our country stronger. That means unity across regions, across industries, and across orders of government. We aren't just at a crossroads, we are at the construction site of Canada's next chapter. So to our federal and provincial and territorial partners, it's time to meet the moment and join us in this conversation. Friends, it's a bit of a milestone for me. 5 years ago, I became CEO of FCM. The pandemic had just started. We had transformed to be fully online, and this very conference was canceled. It seems like a lifetime ago. But we've done some big things together since then. At the height of the pandemic, we were able to secure the Safe Restart Agreement, a federal, provincial, territorial initiative that provided direct support to municipalities during this crisis. In 2021, following direct advocacy, we were able to double the Canada Community Building Fund, get new broadband funding for rural communities, grow the Disaster Mitigation and Adaptation Fund, and expand the Rapid Housing Initiative. In 2022, after sustained conversations with the Minister's Office and with CMHC, the government announced the creation of the Housing Accelerator Fund, a new federal program dedicated to municipalities to streamline planning and permitting. In 2024, our advocacy led to the creation of the Canada Housing Infrastructure Fund, which includes dedicated municipal funding. Let's also remember, though, that sometimes we need to play defense. Just about a year ago, I'll share with you, we had to mobilize to keep the Canada Community Building Fund whole and avoid counterproductive new conditions being added to our most vital infrastructure funding tool, and we won. And it's one of our great advocacy stories of the last 5 years. Following our call, the government changed its approach, and agreements have been renewed now for the next 10 years. That was a big win. Now, we're dealing with a previously unthinkable trade war with our once closest ally, a shift in the traditional global order, but this country and our people will pull through. I've seen what we can do together and what happens when we collectively put Canadians first. So let me give you some examples. Le projet Village Transition de Gatineau.
The Gatineau Transition Village offers Canadians who are suffering from homelessness the ability to transform containers into rooms and with all amenities. In New Brunswick, the city of Salisbury is collaborating on a pilot project to integrate arts and culture in municipal government and strengthen their identity.
Alberta has an innovative project that is funded by all 3 orders of government to vastly improve broadband access for all residents. Also in rural Alberta, Lac-La-Biche County is building a brand new aquatics facility which will enhance the quality of life, health, and wellness for their community. Renfrew County's MESA program is using the skills of frontline paramedics to help people access transitional housing and addictions treatment. Brampton is making it easier to build much-needed office space for workers and keep the local economy growing with the Office Development Charge Incentive Program. And in collaboration with provincial and federal partners, Churchill is expanding rail infrastructure to support their freight and passenger operations. Time and again, you deliver for Canadians because that's what you do. You get it done. In my now 15 years at FCM, I've had the incredible privilege of visiting communities in every corner of this beautiful country, from remote northern towns to thriving big cities, from rural crossroads to coastal fishing villages. What I've seen and what I carry with me every day is a country held together not by systems, but by people. I've met mayors leading wildfire evacuations with calm and compassion, and and that's playing out right now. I want to take a moment to acknowledge our friends and colleagues in Manitoba who are once again facing devastating wildfires. This includes folks who are with us right now, FCM Vice President Kathy Valentino, Mayor of Winnipeg Scott Gillingham, all of our Manitoba members in this room. Our thoughts are with you. We stand in solidarity as you lead through these incredibly difficult days. I've also stood beside councillors rebuilding after floods, but farmers innovating under pressure, and youth councillors bringing fresh hope to old challenges. And through it all, I've seen something that too often goes unnoticed in national conversations. While we may have our disagreements, I truly believe this country is already deeply united in determination, in values, and in belief in a better future. It just doesn't always look the way the pundits expect. But unity isn't abstract. It's lived and led in your communities every single day. That's the Canada I know. That's the Canada that this room, that local government represents. And that's the Canada we need to build on.
I would also like to thank you. When you serve your communities, you're building this country. Each time you find a solution to a problem, you make this country stronger. You are the foundation of the trust, of the resilience, and of the unity. And in this crucial moment, this country is built thanks to you. Your work is more important than ever.
Far under a pretty imperfect dynamic. There's so much to be proud of, and yet our current crisis calls for more. It calls for better. You don't solve national challenges with duct tape. You solve them with vision, with courage, and with all orders of government pulling in the same direction. And we all know, after years of neglect, you can keep patching the roof, or you can actually fix it. So let's finally fix the damn roof and build something worthy of the Canada we believe in. When I look at my kids here in this room today, I think about the country they're going to inherit. And I know this, they deserve more than patchwork solutions. They deserve bold leadership. So let's rise to this moment together and build a future worthy of the next generation and of the country we love. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Carole. Thank you for bringing your energy and your vision and strategy to our opening ceremony this morning to really set the stage for the types of impactful conversations